wasn't expecting to come back live again. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to make a video, telling people, hey, y'all better get on your grind. I'm talking about like skills and whatnot, because the economy, man, the economy is just going down. Like, it's gonna keep going down. I don't think it's gonna get any better, in my honest opinion. It's just gonna get worse. I mean, it's just every year it's been getting worse and worse, and it's not gonna get better, in my opinion. Right now, everything is so expensive. Every cost of living has gone up drastically since 4-5 years ago. Drastically. And the thing is, I mentioned in an earlier live with me buying a house. What I meant to say earlier also was that when we were in the process of buying a house, when we were looking for a house and applying and doing all that stuff, I remember there were people, who were in the market of selling houses. They were like realtors and, financial advisors and all that stuff on YouTube, social media and whatnot, telling people to hold off on buying homes because the economy right now is bad and that it's going to get better. We're not going to go into a recession. I'm glad that I listened to the Most High and purchased when I did. Because like I said earlier, had I not purchased when I did, I probably would not have been able to afford my house. I probably wouldn't have been able to afford my house. And like I said, my house is a nice house. I live in a nice area. It's a 4-bedroom house. I mean, it could be converted, honestly, to a 6-bedroom house. But it's a big 4-bedroom house, 2-car garage, big backyard, big front yard, and 3 bathrooms. So it's a nice big house. And it's, it sits in a newer development. You know what I'm saying? So had I not purchased when I did, man, I probably would not have been able to afford my house right now, because the prices of homes just keep going up. And that's the same thing with everything in society. Everything in society keeps going up drastically. And had I listened to those clowns back then that was like, these people who believe in this society, believe in this world that we live in, I would still be sitting in my 2-bedroom townhouse with 2 kids and a wife. You see, and my one son, when he was little at the time, that little townhouse that we have was nowhere near the amount of room that this boy needs. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who has sons, y'all know how boys are, man. So damn energetic. Like, I was once a boy, but I forgot how energetic, you are when you're a young boy. And I got 2 kids. I can just imagine how it is for people who have more than 2 kids. You need that room. And had I waited and listened to these clowns who were like, oh, in several months the housing market is going to get better, the economy is going to get better, just wait. There was this one guy who was like, I gotta go and find him. It's this like pudgy white guy, older white guy, gray hair. He's like, I bet my life, I bet my bottom dollar, yada, 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 that it's going to get better. And he was like calling other YouTubers out for, in his opinion, what he was calling being pessimistic about the economy. So those people were right. We're absolutely right. I was like, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to sit here and listen to these clowns, because they already have what they want. They already have homes and all that stuff. And they're telling you to wait. Listen, I'm telling you guys, if you cannot afford a home now, and if you can't afford a home now with the job that you have, the position that you have, you're not going to ever be able to afford a home. And that's the sad truth. It's not. Because the way the economy is set up, it's just pricing everyone out. Everybody's getting priced out. And of course, it's being intentionally done because they want everybody to be renters. They don't want anybody to own anything. Yes, owning a house is essentially renting until you own, because you don't truly own a house until it's like paid off. And then still even after that, it's kind of debatable because you don't own the land that you supposedly own, right? Because we know we pay taxes every year. Because there's people who have their homes fully paid off. Like I heard this one story where this guy, he had his house fully paid off. His house was new, relatively new. He only had it for like a year or two. House fully paid off, and he didn't pay like his HOA fees. They fucking took his house from him. Fully paid off house. Took it from him because he didn't pay his HOA fees. And there was other situations that happened here in Columbus where there's this documentary. I would recommend you all to go and check it out. It's called Flag Wars. It was based here in Columbus, Ohio, where a lot of the older folks who have owned their homes probably for like 20, 30 years were losing their homes because of the renaissance that was going on, the rejuvenation that was going on here in Columbus, where they were taking neighborhoods that black folks lived in and made them into historic neighborhoods. And through their rejuvenation program, it was like essentially like a government initiative to where they were giving people money to fix up their homes, right? So what happened was that a lot of the older folks, older black folks, were losing their homes because when the government was giving mostly gay white folks money to fix up these homes, it was raising the property value on these homes. And you know, these older folks, they were on fixed incomes to where everything was fixed. You know, they made maybe through Social Security, retirement, and maybe some other government benefits, military benefits. Probably every month they were probably getting around maybe, you know, $2,000. Who knows how much it was, but it wasn't enough to change along with their property taxes. And their property taxes went up drastically to where the older folks on the fixed incomes, they could no longer, you know, pay for the property taxes while paying for utilities and all their other needs, right? So this caused a lot of older black folks to lose their home. And now today in that neighborhood, they're in that particular section, and these were some big, old, beautiful homes. These homes were probably about around 100 years old, right? Big old stone brick mansions. Like these houses were literal mansions, because a lot of homes over in that area were about 4 bedrooms up. A lot of those homes on this particular street were about 6 bedrooms and up. Right now there are homes over there going for $1 million. And mind you, that's high for Ohio's economy, because you're more expensive. Like your newly built homes here that are like 4 to 5 bedrooms, those things are going for like around $400,000 to $450,000, right? So you have these other homes that are going for $1 million. So that's insane, right? That's insane. I mean, because literally these people are renovating these homes that are going from like $100,000, $150,000 to $1 million after they renovated. So they continue to price out, you know, the community that used to be there, the black folks that used to be there, right? And the thing is that this is just going to keep happening, and nobody's going to be able to own homes. Nobody but the rich, and that's their intention. Their intentions is to have everybody to own nothing. To own nothing. But like I was saying towards the beginning of this video, you know, people really got to get their skills up. I will say, if you don't have a hobby or a skill, get to it. What are you waiting for? because the economy is just getting worse and worse, and there may be a collapse in the near future. I'm hoping for it. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm hoping for it. Right now, a lot of farmers, a lot of white farmers, a lot of farmers who voted for Trump are upset right now. Why? Because they're no longer getting, what is it, the USA aid or something like that. It's like US aid. Can't remember the name of it. But essentially, US aid gave, government subsidies to white farmers, and they've been doing this like forever. Because even Martin Luther King was talking about this back in the day. How they were being given, government subsidies, and they were given, machinery. They mechanized their farms, which, they were given machinery to work on their farms, while the black farmers were getting nothing. And right now, black farmers on TikTok and all this stuff is talking about like, hey, this ain't affecting us like it's affecting y'all, because we never got help. Like, go on YouTube. There's videos of black farmers who have been complaining for a long time how they don't get the same treatment as white farmers. That white farmers easily get funded by the government while they don't. And a lot of these white farmers are crying right now, crying foul, because they're no longer getting that government support. So, in turn, what it's doing, most of the farms in America are owned by white folks. So, what this is going to do, with them no longer getting U.S. aid, is that it is going to implode, the agricultural market, and it's not going to be good, man. If y'all think things are expensive now, just wait until we start feeling the effects of what's going on with the farms. People, I'm telling y'all, learn how to grow. Learn how to grow. Because if you don't know how to grow, man, I'm telling y'all, hey, ever since I think 2020, more people have gotten into growing, their own food than ever before. Well, in recent times, I'm not gonna say ever before, because these were skills that our grandparents had. These were skills that our great-great-grandparents had during the Great Depression, back in like the 1920s and 30s. A lot of people actually had their own gardens. They would grow their own stuff. I'm telling you, if it ever gets so bad here, because we're actually growing our stuff right now. I actually got seedlings right now that could be that could go outside, but I'm gonna wait at least another week. Who knows? I may put them out there this weekend, just because the temperatures look like they're consistent, like it's gonna be consistently warm to where we won't be dropping down into frost. So I'm gonna wait. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Yeah, man. Like I was saying, during the Great Depression, everybody was growing their own stuff, and honestly, that's what people need to be doing now: growing our own. And like I said, if things were to get real bad, now I turned my whole backyard into a damn farm. And it's so funny because, like, we have neighbors who have like really nice lawns, right? To where they don't have dandelions or anything like that growing in their yard. You can tell that they treated their yard, And we got a bunch of dandelions in our front yard and even some in our backyard. And I'm not going to spray my lawn just to keep dandelions, because if shit hits the fans anytime soon, my neighbors, they're going to be struggling. Say, even if they get a bag of seeds, right? Say everything closes down, they have seeds, right? and they try to grow in their front yard, yeah, you know, stuff may sprout up and then it's just gonna die. Sprout up and then die. Because that happens, because a lot of that stuff to kill dandelions, it's herbicide. So it's gonna kill anything that's gonna grow other than grass. And it's crazy because people don't realize that. But that's why I will never, even though I feel like these dandelions in my yard are freaking annoying, I'd rather have them than not have them, because it lets me know that my lawn is healthy. That I don't have a ton of chemicals in my yard. Well, I'll be able to grow stuff in my own yard. While they'll just struggle. They'll struggle. But yeah, I got stuff growing, right? Growing as much as I did last year. No, how things are going right now. Shit. I may just start planting some more things, because I didn't want as big of a harvest. Well, last year I just had an overabundance, right, of things, and it was just like kind of hard to maintain, because I was really the main one out there tending to my garden. My wife, she wasn't really tending to it like that, but I was, you know, I was out there picking and stuff, and, you know, giving stuff to our neighbors and my family, my mom, and yeah, man, it was just a whole lot. It was a whole lot. And another reason why I downsized also was because another reason why we downsized, sorry, I'm gonna bite my tongue, was because like my tomatoes, I had too many plants in one area, and they weren't growing to the size that they needed to grow to. You know, and it was the same thing with my cucumbers and everything else. It was just way too many. Honestly, I feel like with how many plants that I'm growing this year, we should have a good turnout like we did last year. The only thing is that everything won't be sharing the same space. They will have a little bit more space. Everything will be a little bit more organized than it was last year. But I got a shit ton of seeds, man. Like, hey guys, I'm not playing. When you go to Dollar Tree, you see those $4 seeds? I think they're from like American Seeds. I think that's what it's called. Buy those seeds. Store those seeds. Keep those seeds. I still have seeds from like 4 or 5 years ago. Well, I won't say probably about like 4 years ago. I have seeds from like 4 years ago. Keep those seeds. Stop playing, man. And don't sleep on those American seeds, because I have heirloom seeds, but American Seed, they actually sell non-GMO and also heirloom seeds too. You know, you just gotta look for the packaging, but all their seeds are non-GMO. So, but yeah, man, guys, shit gonna get hard, man. It's gonna get bad out here. I mean, things are already hard, just like I told you on the earlier live stream. You know, there are people who are living in the wilderness right now because they can no longer afford to live in today's society. You know, and this is what I mentioned earlier, who live out in the wilderness, they know each other, by the way. It's funny because their structures look so much the same, like they look so, but they don't know each other. But yeah, right now, so it's very wooded, a lot of wilderness and all that stuff. So, you know, and I'm going up and down the elevation and stuff, so you have to forgive me. My signal is just going to go out every now and then. But yeah, man, I mean, like I was saying, knowing how to grow your own food, it is a skill, it is an art. It is not as simple as just throwing the seed in the ground. It really isn't. There's more to it than that. Just like right now with one of my tomato seedlings right now, it has mold growing on it. And, you know, mold can wipe out your entire stock of plants, and you have to know what to do and what not to do, because mold on your plants can mean several things. But in my case, it means I believe that I'm overwatering my plants, and I think that's what it is. And I think that also I may have gotten some of the soil on the leaves, which can also cause, issues with the health of your plant. And it's only on one leaf right now, but it could spread now. I've had in the past plants that have had issues with like fungus, and I said mold, sorry, fungus on my plants, and they've done well, they thrive, so fungus on your plants isn't going to destroy your plants, but it can wipe out your plants, if you're not doing what you need to do. So just be careful. But my point in saying that is that it's not as simple as just throwing the seed in the ground and watering it. Like, that's only part of it. You really have to monitor your plants and know your plants, because every plant isn't the same. Some plants need more water than others, and you gotta also check the soil. You gotta see if your plants need more water by kind of digging in the soil, seeing how the soil's doing. Because the soil may look dry on the top, but up under where the roots are, it may be moist up under there. And if it's moist under there, you can dig under there and make like a little ball out of the soil. Then you don't need to dig up under there. These are all different things that you need to knowledge that is kind of pertinent for you to. Growing plants is definitely a skill that I think every person should know. Every person. But yeah, it's getting bad out here. And it's only going to get worse. It is only going to get worse. Trying to keep myself hydrated. Yesterday I was super tired, and I honestly think was that I wasn't hydrated, as hydrated as I needed to be. Yeah. I'm going to try to keep myself super hydrated today and see if that makes a difference, because I'm telling you, I was tired. Like, throughout the day I was alright, but as soon as I got home, it's like I went to the store, and as soon as I went to the store, I got hit with this like wall of fatigue. Oh man. After I got off of work, I was just done. I went to bed like 2 hours early. The crazy thing is I still woke up feeling tired, and I think that it's just due to being dehydrated. Because a lot of people don't understand that water, man, if you don't have water in your system, or enough water in your system, they can do all types of stuff to you. You can, a lot of people don't realize that, when acne, you can get rid of acne by drinking water. Your body, the reason why you're building up so much acne or pus or whatever in your body is because you ain't got enough water to flush it out. So if you're out here flushing it out, through your system, through your body, it won't just build up on your body or your face or anything like that. I had a little bit of acne when I was a teenager, but not a whole lot. But I knew people who had it way worse. Now, of course, it's hereditary also. It depends on, how your genetics are, but I believe that water will help you out drastically. Like my older brother, when we were younger, he barely had any pimples at all. And I did. And it was because I drank way less water than he did. He drank way more water than I did. And he didn't have that much acne. So if you ever have like a pimple start breaking out on your face, you need to start drinking water. And within like a few days, those pimples are going to start to go away, as long as you stay consistent and just keep drinking, going down, y'all. It's going down. And now these white farmers are crying, man. They're no longer getting that leg up in this situation, man. So prepare, y'all. Y'all know me. Prepare, because it's not going to get any better. They've been saying this shit for years. That's going to get better. Don't worry, the economy is going to turn around. It's going to get better. Yada yada yada. No, it's not. No, it's not. Y'all been saying this shit for years. There's been economists for years. Oh, it's beautiful. Just looking down in the valley, I can see for like miles. Ah, man. I feel bad for people who live in flat areas, man. Columbus is flat-ish. I'm not gonna say flat because there's areas. In Columbus is actually pretty hilly. But right outside Columbus, literally 15 minutes outside Columbus is where the Appalachian part of Ohio started, and you start going into the hills, mountains, and all that stuff, and it's beautiful, man. It is beautiful. People who live in Florida their entire lives, that's boring to me. I know people and I'm not shitting on anybody who live in Florida because all of America is beautiful. But you know how people be like, man, I want to live by the coast. I want to live by the beach and yada yada yada. That's cool and fine. I get it. I completely get it. But me personally, I'd rather live up in the mountains, man. I'd rather live in the mountains because it's just beautiful. I've always been a person who loved mountains, hills, all that. That's what it is for me, man. But if I could get a elevated or hills or mountains on the coast, okay, yeah, now we're really talking, right? And that's why I think California is absolutely beautiful, because California, unlike the East Coast, on the East Coast, yeah, there's mountains and all that stuff, but on the East Coast, there really aren't mountains on the coast. You're not going to see that on the East Coast, because the mountains are more in the interior parts of the East Coast. So you at least have to go several miles in to see, mountains. If you look at the map of the Appalachians, DC, for example, DC, you have to drive probably about an hour or two away to get to the mountains that's in Virginia. You see what I'm saying? While in California, literally the mountains are right there on the coast. Right there, especially when you go north of LA, you have all those hills and cliffs and all that stuff right there on the coast. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. But the only thing that ruins California, because I have family out there in California, and the only thing that ruins California is how expensive it is. Because for me, California would be the ideal state to live in, simply because they have mountains and they have a coast, right? They're on the coast, which is beautiful. But I ain't gonna hold you, Ohio is kind of like that too. If you've ever been to Northeast Ohio, which is it's in the Appalachian part of Ohio, there's literally if you're driving, I forget, what is it? I think it's I-90 or I-80, one of those highways that's right there on the coastline of Ohio. It is beautiful. Anybody who's ever been up there, y'all know what the hell I'm talking about, man. People sleep on the Midwest. When you hear people talk about places to live and places to move to, they usually talk about anywhere that has warmer weather, right? Get it? People don't want to live. They don't want to go through, cold winters and stuff like that. But the only place you're going to really not get cold weather in general, are places southern Texas, southern Florida, Louisiana, like the southern part of the southern states, right? But I'm gonna go and just say southern in like LA, because all your other states, all your other warm states, like anybody who's never lived in the South or like in the Southwest, it still gets cold there. It gets cold there. The only thing is that they may not hold that temperature all day, or they may not have consistent cold weather days, right? And it really depends. Like the latitude don't mean shit. Like, you know how like on the maps they tell you like the farther south you go, the warmer it gets. That's bullshit. Because there are places that are on the same latitude as other states and experience different weather. Experience different type of weather. Like Columbus, Ohio sits at the same latitude as Northern California. Yet Northern California don't get as much snow, at least in like in San Francisco, Sacramento, all those places. They don't get as much snow as Ohio does, or as much cold weather as Ohio does. Still gets chilly there, but not as how it does in parts of the Midwest, right? So and then also like when we talk about North Carolina, I used to live in North Carolina. North Carolina is about like 2 to 3 states away from Ohio. It's further south than Ohio is. But when we used to live in North Carolina, we used to get cold weather. Like anybody who lives in North Carolina today can vouch for me. It gets cold. Like it gets down to the 30s. Like sure, their temperature is a little bit more. It can be a little bit more mild than ours. Like I will say, on average, the temperature can be anywhere between 5 to 15 degrees warmer. And that's usually what it is. But sometimes we have higher temperatures than them. Sometimes they have, lower temperatures than us. Which, when you think about it, it's like, how does that happen? Like, how does that happen, right? But then when you look at like the wind, the cold fronts that come in and how they disperse and all that stuff. Allegedly, this is how this type of activity happens. But it gets cold down there. Like. But it doesn't snow as much as Ohio. Like, yeah, there's snow. Like, it does snow in North Carolina, sometimes in South Carolina. It snows in Georgia sometimes. Even Alabama, even parts of Louisiana. Parts of Texas get snow every year. Like those places get snow. Even places in Arizona, they get snow and stuff like that too. It gets cold there too, but it's just not as consistently cold during the winter as it is in places in the Midwest and the Northeast. But like I was saying, like everybody want to move to like warm weather places to where the temperature is a little bit better year round, like a little bit warmer year round. And me personally, like I'm like, man, y'all sleeping on the Midwest, because Ohio is a little bit different from all the other Midwest states, because a lot of the other Midwest states, they don't really have a lot of elevation other than and I'm talking about elevation on the coast, right? Because if you go to the northeastern part of Ohio, literally we have like giant sand dunes out there, and it's the same thing in Michigan too, but we have like giant sand dunes and cliffs that are like hundreds of feet high. And you can literally look down to the lake, into Lake Erie. And I'm telling you, Lake Erie does not look like a lake. Like anybody who's never been there, like when I was young, I really didn't go to Lake Erie like that. When I got older, I started to go to Lake Erie because there's this amusement park called Cedar Point. And it's like a world famous amusement park. They're known for the roller coasters. We would go to Cedar Point, and like when you go up on the rides and roller coasters, you get to see out into the lake, and you can't even see the other side. The lake is so big. And mind you, Lake Erie is like, it's not even the biggest out of the Great Lakes. It's like the second smallest. I think like it's Lake Erie, Lake Huron, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, and then Lake Toronto? No, not Lake Toronto. I think it's maybe named after one of the Canadian states or whatever. It could be Lake Champlain. maybe that's what it is. Lake Champlain. I'm not sure. I don't know what the other damn lake is, but Lake Erie is the second smallest. And I'm telling you, like, when you go to Lake Erie, it's like you're looking at an ocean. Like if somebody, tied something around your eyes, and brought you right on the coast of Lake Erie, you would think that you were brought to the ocean. Like, literally, it's that big. Like, when you look out into the horizon, all you see is just water. It's huge. It's huge. And technically, Lake Erie and all those lakes, they're technically inland seas. They're freshwater seas. That's technically what they are. And there's beaches up there. A lot of people don't know that there's beaches up there in Ohio, on the lakes, on the Great Lakes. There are beaches, and there's even islands out there, right? So Ohio's coast, it is beautiful. I'm telling you, if you live in Ohio or in the Midwest area, go to the Great Lakes. Underrated, completely underrated. There's a whole lot to do, especially in Ohio. Not all the Midwest states are the same, because the further west you go, the flatter it becomes. So Ohio has like a mix of everything. You can go hiking in Ohio because we have hills and small mountains here in Ohio. You can go swimming, because we have Lake Erie. Like, we literally have beautiful beaches here in Ohio that you can go to. Hell, people even surf on Lake Erie. Like, you're not gonna get no massive 30-foot wave, but people actually surf at Lake Erie, man. It's wild to me. Well, yeah, man, you can do a lot of fishing out of Lake Erie, go and catch sturgeons and stuff like that. For people who don't know what sturgeons are, they're like a freshwater fish. Huge, man. Huge. People be catching giant trout, catfish, big old giant catfish in there. But yeah, y'all need to watch out for them sturgeons. Them things will attack you. Them things don't play. And the same thing with the pike, man. People they be getting giant pikes in Lake Erie too. And I'm talking about these pikes and sturgeons. They can get up to like 6 feet long. And those pikes, yeah, you gotta watch out, because the pikes, they're probably more aggressive than the sturgeons. I mean, both of them are aggressive fish, and both of them will attack you. But yeah, I mean, pikes are literally like barracudas. They're like the barracudas of the fresh water, man. They will attack, and they will try to kill you if they can. But anyways, yeah, like I said, man, Ohio is definitely a beautiful state, man. Like, you can do a whole lot if you know what to do. I mean, you can go skiing. Like I said, you can go hiking. Like I said, we have like hills and small mountains here that you can go and hike. A lot of nature here, man. Like, a lot of greenery. Why do I feel like this is turning into like an advertisement for Ohio? It really isn't. But yeah, I mean, it's just like so much to do here. I lived in Ohio most of my life, and all the time I'm discovering new things to do, man. Last year I took my wife, because my wife, she's from Louisiana, and I took my wife to the Amish country. And there's a lot of Amish here in Ohio. I think Ohio has the biggest Amish community, or we have the most Amish. I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of those. And I took my wife and her mom to the Amish country, place I went to when I was a little kid. And it's fun. I mean, they enjoyed themselves. We had this beautiful, because the Amish country is in the Appalachian area, and we took them to this restaurant called Old Dutchman or something like that. And it was beautiful. The view was beautiful. Like we're up on this big ass hill, like a few hundred feet up in the air, in this restaurant, because it's like this town that's, like I said, it's like a bunch of small mountains and hills over there, and we're like way up in the air, looking down into the valley, and you just see rolling hills as far as the eye can see. I mean, breathtaking, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. We had a good time, and we said we was gonna go back again this year, and we were gonna take our friend with us next time we go. So yeah, I definitely want to do that. Who knows? I may do that sometime soon, for real. Lives and things like that. And of course, the Amish people were asking us questions, asking us, why we wear fringes and all this stuff. We explained it to them and telling them and everything like that. But yeah, man, it's a nice experience, very nice. Yeah, my mother-in-law, she enjoyed it a lot. And on our way there, of course, it's like you gotta dodge the Amish people because the roads can be very tight because the roads are winding roads. You know how it is in like any area with elevation and hills. The roads aren't straight. They're very windy and stuff. So you have to be careful going around the corner, at a high speed because you may end up running in the back of a damn Amish wagon or running over people on the bikes. Because I'm telling you, these people, they got e-bikes, man. I remember the first time in a long time I went out there to the Amish area because I was at work. I was delivering a load up in Millersburg, Ohio. No, it wasn't Millersburg. It was close to Millersburg, Ohio. And I was delivering a load there, and I saw a woman riding an e-bike. She wasn't even pedaling. I'm like, Amish people on an e-bike? What the hell is going on? Yeah, they ride e-bikes now, man. And it's funny because I was telling my wife about it, her and her mother about it, before we even got to Amish country. And lo and behold, everybody out there riding their little e-bikes. I was like, see, I told y'all. Y'all probably thought I was lying about the damn e-bikes. No, these Amish were really riding the e-bikes, man. They ride the things everywhere. I love driving over there because it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. A lot of people think Ohio was like flat. No, it's not. More than half of Ohio is part of the Appalachian Mountains. So yeah, man, it is beautiful over there. And my mother-in-law, when we were driving there, she was like, oh my God, this looks like, because she's from Durham, North Carolina. And she's like, yeah, this looks like where I live. Because of all the hills and the small mountains and stuff. Yeah, man. Why am I sitting here talking about Ohio? Because all of America is beautiful, man. All of America is beautiful. The East Coast, the Midwest, the South, the West Coast, they all have something beautiful about themselves, man. And I can't wait. I can't wait till we all get our shit back, man. Because like I was saying, we up here paying to be on land that was stolen from us. Like, what? Stolen from us. Damn shame. Do you know who helped steal our land? The POPE. The POPE helped steal our lands. Him and his folks. That's the real shame. Our brothers out here, I mean, it's so crazy. And one thing I hate about Ohio is that the land here is so unaffordable. I don't know, man. I don't know if Ohio has the most expensive land, but hey, I don't know, man. Because I always wanted to buy land, and I still want to get some land, outside of my home. But it is so damn expensive, man. It really is. It really is. Literally, here in Ohio, just to get an acre of land, you're spending probably close to $10,000. But in other states, you ain't spending that amount of money. And I think the reason why is because Ohio has a lot of prime farmland. Like a lot of the soil here, they say has been glaciated, so it's like very rich soil. And that's probably why it's so damn expensive here in Ohio when it comes to buying land. Because in other states, like even next door, like in Kentucky, the land is so much cheaper. So much cheaper to buy, man. It's crazy, man. And now it's just making me want to go look at look at how much land it's cost, because I haven't. It's been like at least several months since last time I looked at some land and see how much it costs. Because even if I bought like an acre of land, I'm cool with that, because I want to build on that acre of land. And say if shit hits the fan, even if I finance it, hell, when shit hit the fan, ain't no company gonna be existing and try to get money from me. I'm gonna flee to my little acre of land, which at that time will multiply to how much ever land around me. You know what I'm saying? Because I want land that's in the middle of nowhere, and if shit hits the fan, ain't nobody gonna be out there checking to make sure that people are still financing their land. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, but yeah, because I definitely want to buy a little acre of land and just build on it. Sorry, I said an acre of land is $10,000. No, I seen a quarter acre of land going for $10,000 here in Ohio. Like, what in the man? Like, come on. And it's not even like it's in farmland. It's like literally in the middle of the damn woods. Actually, I seen this one piece of land. Like, I saw this. Okay, so I was on this one website looking at some land, and these people were like selling parts of this fucking mountain. Like, it's literally like this mountain, this small mountain that people were up here trying to sell like pieces of. I'm like, why would anybody want to buy land like that's sitting on the side of a damn mountain? Like, that don't make any sense. Like, I don't know. But if I did anything with some land, like, I'll build some cabins up in there. Yeah, I'll build some cabins and then rent them out, on VRBO or Verbo, whatever the hell it's called. That's what I would do. Try to make a little mini Gatlinburg. But yeah, Gatlinburg is beautiful, man. The eastern part of Tennessee, beautiful. Going through those mountains down there, and I feel like Tennessee is doing something that other states just really aren't taking advantage of. Like, sure, you can find cabins in other Appalachian states, but they're just not doing it like how Tennessee is. Like, Tennessee literally has like 3 different cities. You got Serverville, you have Gatlinburg, and then you have another city down there that's in the same similar area that fits Tennessee is. Like, you have the Red River Gorge. I think that's what it's called, the Red River Gorge in West Virginia. And they have some cabins there, but it's not a whole lot. It's like, come on, y'all can do better. West Virginia has a bunch of beautiful mountains, very mountainous area, where they can put a lot of cabins up in those mountains. Same thing with Virginia, a lot of mountains. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with, like, even Alabama, like near Birmingham, they have a lot of mountains, small mountains and hills and stuff they can put cabins up in, that you can get some nice, beautiful views of nature and all that stuff. Also in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, even the same thing with New York and Connecticut, all those other states that are part of the Appalachian Mountain chain. Like, what are y'all doing, man? I don't know, because if I own land in the mountainous area, man, best believe my ass gonna be building some cabins up there and renting them out, making money off that. But yeah, anyways, guys, I've been blabbing, man. I've just been going on and on and on and on, just talking. I guess I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just talking about whatever. But yeah, man, those farmers are hurting right now. And they're hurting a lot in Ohio because we export soybeans, and that's one of the things that they said that they were no longer, China was no longer going to buy from America are the soybeans, right? And yeah, America is going to be hurting, man. Ohio is going to be hurting. Because Ohio, we export a lot of corn. Well, we grow a lot of corn and we grow a lot of soybeans here. Sheesh. It ain't looking too pretty. Yeah. But anyways, guys, I'm up here. I'm stuck in traffic. Guess there must. There may be an accident, but then there may not be an accident up here. Because they are doing construction on the road up here. And I'm trying to see if it's even worth it to take the way that I usually take to get back. Anyways. Alright, guys. Well, I will holler at y'all later. Peace out. Shalom. And may the God of Israel bless all those who do his will.